What is up, everybody? Today I'm going to be talking about and reviewing a concert that I went to last night in Corbin, Kentucky, live and in person for BulletBoys, FireHouse, and Winger. So, I posted some videos of it so far, good quality stuff if you want to go check out how all these bands still sound. I'll put in some clips as I get to talking about each set. I'll give a little rating for each one, talk about my favorite songs each band played, and I'm going to talk about the whole setup, how many people were there, the mask situation, socially distancing stuff, all this stuff that people are asking me, because this concert is one of, if not the first kind of like big scale concert there's been in like a year. I mean, there might have been another one, I'm not sure. I know some bands have been playing here and there at like clubs and whatever, but this is an arena show with 3 big name bands. Like, these bands all at least had a gold album, sold millions of albums between the 3 of them. Pretty big fan bases here, and yeah, so big bands. And starting off, I drove about 4 hours up there to Kentucky from Georgia. Corbin. So this is where it was, Corbin, Kentucky, kind of in the middle of nowhere, kind of a surprising spot for this to be because small town. The arena was like on top of a mountain, which was cool, kind of overlooking the town. And when I first pulled up, I got out, was looking at the view, was like, hey, that's cool. And then I'm walking back to my car, and I hear somebody call my name, like, hey, Bryce, what's up? And this guy that likes my channel and his son came up to me. They just said, hey, man, we love your videos. And I was like, sick, that's amazing. First time I've ever been recognized in public. So we took a picture, which I'll put in right here. And I'm going to just get this out of the way as well. I stayed after the concert, met Reb Beach, got a picture with him, which I'll put right here. He was cool as shit. He signed my debut Winger album right here. He signed In the Heart of the Young. And he signed Pull, which I got the cassette. Sick stuff. So I'm just sitting out there at the end. Maybe I should wait till the end to say this, but so after the concert, we're just sitting there. It's literally like me and 2 other guys. Wait like 30 minutes, 45 minutes after the show. Kip Winger and Reb Beach come out to their cars. Kip kind of just gets in his car and goes, hey, that's cool, whatever. But Reb's like, hey, y'all want some autographs or something? So we're like, dude, hell yeah. And he comes over, talks to us for a minute, takes some pictures, signs everybody's stuff. So that was really cool. But so as far as the concert goes, doors opened like 6:45-ish or something. BulletBoys came on at 7:30. They played for 45 minutes, 8 songs, but I'll get to that in a second. As far as the mask situation goes and the socially distancing, masks were not required. I think around half, if that, at most, half the people, like when walking around in the arena to like get drinks and go to the bathroom, were wearing their masks. And for sure at their seats, easily less than half had them on. Which, whatever, people can do what they want. And the socially distancing, the arena was set up like halfway. They had curtains set up like halfway in the middle here. They had the stage in the middle of the arena on the ground there. They had the chairs lined up in like groups of 2 and 3 with a couple feet between them. So kind of socially distanced down on the ground. As far as up in the like bleacher seats back farther where I was, there was kind of socially distancing. I don't think they meant for it, just that it was kind of like half empty up there, so people kind of moved around. Like, there was a guy that had bought the seat next to me because I was alone. A random guy bought the seat next to me that I didn't previously know, but like nobody else was like 4 seats between him and the next guy, so he moved over a seat or 2. So nobody was sitting right next to me, which was pretty cool, I guess. Had my space. And but at the beginning of the concert, everybody down on the floor was kind of staying in their spots, but as the night progressed, when Winger was up there, everybody had by that point moved up to the front and kind of were all together. But you know, people of course are commenting saying, oh, COVID concert, this, that. You know, it's been a year. Stuff's starting to open up everywhere, so you know, if you want to stay home, go for it. But me personally, I'm ready for concerts and I'm willing to go. There's risk in everything you do in everyday life, so you know, I'm not here to give a lecture, but I'm going to concerts, man, whatever. But yeah, so first band, BulletBoys. So first band was BulletBoys, and they were pretty good. Overall, like the drummer, bassist, and guitar player were great. The vocals were a little hit or miss at times. The guy, Mark Torian's about 60 years old or so now, so obviously he's not going to sound as good as he did over 30 years ago, 1988, when their debut album came out, which I have right here. They played 8 songs. 6 of them were from this album. Of course, this is by far their best album. And then the other 2 were from the album Freak Show, which came out after this. But yeah, and also they kind of had their sound off a little bit. Like, you could barely hear his vocals for the first couple songs, and then they turned up his mic a little bit. But yeah, his vocals were okay. The band sounded good. And as far as the set goes, they played Hard as a Rock, which was the opening song they started with. And that, I'd probably say, is their best. I'm trying to pull up the set list so I don't mess this shit up. But so Hard as a Rock was the opening song. And then after that, they played Hell on My Heels, which is another song from this album. It was pretty cool to see. And then they played Ode to Joe, another song from this album. And then they went on to Hang On St. Christopher, which is a Tom Watts cover, which was on Freak Show. And then they played Shoot the Preacher Down from this album. And For the Love of Money from this album. Ripping Me from Freak Show, and Smooth Up In Ya, of course, their biggest song to close it out. So, best songs I'd say definitely were Hard as a Rock, probably Shoot the Preacher Down, and Smooth Up In Ya. But overall, with the vocal situation, which was kind of annoying at times, and honestly, it's a little, he dances around a little bit too much, I'd say. It's like David Lee Roth ×2, and he still does it, like, at 60 years old, which is cool. He wants to put on a good show. Just at times, I think you should maybe tone it down a smidge. But good showman. Just at times goes a little overboard, in my opinion. And overall, I would probably give this concert, or this set right here, a C+. So we're starting off with a C+. Not bad, not great. So the next band up after that was FireHouse. Alright, so I'm a pretty big FireHouse fan, so I was really excited for them to come on, and started off with Rock on the Radio, which was fantastic, and then into All She Wrote. And then after they finished All She Wrote, which is maybe their best song, CJ Snare, the singer, who still sounds pretty good, not quite as good as he did again. It's almost impossible for any of these guys to still sound as good as they did back in the day. 30 years on your voice makes it drop off a tad, but he still sounded pretty good. But he said they're doing the full first album. So I'm like, heck yeah. We're going to see all these great songs. There's a few ballads on there I don't really care for, but looking at all these songs, you know, All She Wrote, as I said, is amazing. Rock on the Radio is great. Other ones that are standouts, I would say, are Ought to Be a Law. It's a good song. Overnight Sensation. And then they played Love of a Lifetime, and I was getting all excited to see Helpless, which is probably my favorite song by them, or definitely top 3. So I'm like, getting ready to record it. Let's go. And he's like, you know what, guys? Instead of playing our last song from this album, we're going to play the first song from the next album, because we only got time for one more. I was like, what the are you kidding me, dude? But, I mean, Reach for the Sky is the song they played instead of Helpless, which Reach for the Sky, definitely a top 5 song of theirs. Just Helpless is amazing, so I was disappointed to not see that. Bill Leverty on guitar sounded amazing. The drums were great. Really, their whole sound was good. Just the main disappointment was no Helpless, and the vocals from CJ Snare were a slight drop-off than what he was like 30 years ago, obviously. So overall, I'm giving this a solid B+. Great show. Highly recommend to see FireHouse if they come near you. And headlining band here, Winger. So Winger was the headliner, and they definitely did not disappoint. Amazing performances from everybody in the band. 16 songs, which is a great amount, plus a drum solo, plus a Reb Beach guitar solo, which was freaking mind-blowing. Reb is incredible, one of the best of all time, and as I said before, he was super cool after the show. Signed a couple of my albums, took a picture, but rest of the band all still on top of their game, and everybody is original members from the first album, plus an extra guitarist that they picked up a little later on. But Rod Morgenstein on the drums is still fantastic. His drum solo was great. Paul Taylor on the keyboards, plays keys on songs that need it, like Hungry, but when there's no keyboards, he picks up a guitar as well. So they had the guitar trio going a lot of the time, which was super cool. They had some like really nice harmonizations. We're shredding all of them together at once, was just freaking badass. John Roth on guitar as well is amazing. And of course, Kip Winger on bass and vocals is a great musician himself. But the set list, as I said before, 16 songs, a lot of great stuff. And, you know, Winger is a lot heavier live than you would expect. And they're really just a heavier band than you'd expect. Looking at them from the outside, of course, they're made fun of with that guy, Stewart, on Beavis and Butthead. You got Metallica throwing darts at freaking Kip Winger in a music video. So I think a lot of people kind of have like preconceived notions of Winger, that they're just some shitty glam band or something, but they're actually kind of heavy if you go through their stuff, some of the modern stuff, some of the deeper cuts on the earlier albums as well, pretty damn heavy. But such as, I would say, like Time to Surrender is just an amazing riff, pretty heavy song. But open it up with Midnight Driver of a Love Machine. First song they played. That's the only thing that I kind of had a slight problem with, because don't particularly love that song, and I think they could have picked a better one to open it with, which that song's from the 2014 album. Not bad, but I think they could have picked a little bit better of a song personally to open with. But after that, they went straight into Junkyard Dog, which is a super heavy one from Pull, which I've got sitting right here. Reb, signed, show that again. But amazing song to see live, very heavy. Then they went into Easy Come, Easy Go, pretty good song. And then Hungry, Pull Me Under, those two songs are great. Pull Me Under, super underrated. Great riff on that song, amazing shred throughout. Not going to list all of them because, as I said, 16 songs. But a couple other favorites they played, I'd go with probably Madeleine and 17. But as I said, Red Beach did a guitar solo at the end right before 17, which was like 4 or 5 minutes long. Just incredible, mesmerizing, fantastic stuff. But overall, and Kip's voice still sounded pretty good, a lot better than some of the guys in the same like scene and just in metal in general, that 30 years later, does the guy's voice still sound good? Kip, his voice is definitely held up, almost the exact same. So overall, with the performances from everybody being so good, I'm giving this a solid A. This is an A rating. If Winger's ever near you, for sure, go. So we got an A for Winger. I think I gave FireHouse a B+, and BulletBoys like a C or C+ or whatever it was. But yeah, they were in the right order, I think. Winger, fantastic. Easily, definitely 100% the headliner of this group. And to wrap it up, concerts being back, they're coming up. I've got a couple lined up in the next month or two I'm pretty sure I'm going to. Nasty Savage in Tampa, Florida. And Steel Panther's playing some shows around that. There's a couple that I might go to, I don't know. But, yeah, I'm really excited the concerts are back. And, you know, if you don't want to go, don't go. But no need to be a snarky asshole about it. Everybody can make their own decisions, do what they want. If something's on, go to it if you want. If not, stay home, whatever. Just, yeah, great show, great concert. Looking forward to more in the near future. But as usual, everybody, thank y'all for watching. Until next time.